Hey y'all, I'm Heather, and welcome to my channel, The Debt Free Quilter. We're back today working on our night sky quilt. We've got all of our pieces set up and ready, and now it's time to finish building our block. So, at this point, I'm going to insert some time-lapse footage pressing all of the excess of half square triangles that we made 2 at a time in this video series. And now we will just continue with the assembling of this block. Let's get started. Okay, one thing to note about where we're at right now in assembling these blocks. The center star came out a little bit smaller than it states in the pattern, at least mine did. That means I either cut something wrong or my seam allowance was not quite a consistent 1/4 inch. So that's on me. If you choose to do this pattern and your pattern turns out absolutely perfect, rock on, good for you. Keep up the good work. You're brilliant. As for me, my centers turned out just a little bit small. So what I'm going to start, or what I'm going to do and how I'm going to deal with that, is I'm going to start by taking a 1/4 inch and see how that fits against the center, and see if I need to take a little bit more in my seam allowance to make it all fit. So here we go. Okay, let's move over here and see how all of these are going to fit together. Move around a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay. First one I'm going to check is down here. And oh, that one looks like it's going to be just fine. This one I could take a little bit more. That's why I'm just finger pressing, because I'm just checking right now. Need to see if I need to take. Okay, so we've got a couple that are spot on real close. This one I think we're going to take just a hair more for our seam allowance. Not very much. Just maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Let's check it again. Oh, much better. Much better. Okay, so this actually came out better than I expected, considering my center was a little bit small. So now I'm going to attach these and these to these rows, and then I'll attach the middle, and we'll go from there. All right. Now I'm going to go press these really quick and come back and assemble a block. All right, I will be right back and we'll see how this turned out. Okay, here's our block. It came out way better than I figured. Usually does. I set a low bar for myself. Let me show you one area that I'm worried about though. This right here. When I ripped those stitches a little bit ago, I accidentally cut a hole in my fabric right here. But being as it's on an outside edge and I can put it on an outside edge of the quilt, I can hide that and I can quilt over it really well, and nobody is going to know it is there except for you guys, because I'm telling you. All right. Now, give me just a minute and we're going to discuss why I did not make the blocks as the pattern directed me to. Give me a second. Okay, let's look at this. In this block, we have our center spinning a different direction than the first block. So, since these outer points are all about placement, why am I going to make a bunch of them that's the same when they're different? Let's look at this. Different points, different placement. And since they're different and I want them to look different and I want them to remain different, I wait to do the outside until the center is done so I know where to put my colors. That way I don't get anything mixed up. Anyway, let's get these assembled and then we'll move on with the rest of our blocks. Same as last time, we're going to assemble our center points first and check to make sure that they are the same size as the center block. And let's check again to make sure our blocks are the right size. If they're not, we'll fix that. Okay, looks like we have one, once again, that needs to be taken in just a little bit. So we took that in a little bit, just by about a 1/16 of an inch, and once again that gives us our center where we need it. Okay, now we're going to add these and these, press them, and assemble our block. All right, we'll press these and be right back. All right, one more press and then we'll look at our block. Here we go, our two blocks. Here's the first one that we did. Here's the second one that we did. Now look at this. If we made a bunch of blocks in just this colorway in opposites, look at the secondary pattern that we would have. Isn't that gorgeous? This really does give me an idea for a quilt later on down the road. Not right now, but later on, because it wouldn't just go this way. It would go this way as well. And wouldn't that be absolutely gorgeous? But as for now, we're making this and we have got a bunch more blocks over there to do. So we're going to get to it and we're going to get this thing knocked out. Let's get to it. time for a little explaining. See, this is something when you still don't get these pieces to line up properly, there are other options to making it all fit. We can trim these little bits out here to the same width as that center, which sometimes we have to do. It's fine. It happens. Remember, there is no such thing as the quilt police. Just keep telling yourself that. There is no such thing as the quilt police. It's whatever you gotta do to make things fit, short of selling your soul. Okay, we don't want to do that. No, that doesn't do anybody any good. But this sometimes happens. Sometimes you need to trim the center of a block in order to make these pieces fit nicely. Sometimes that happens. It's not the end of the world. Now, I think there's a couple other blocks that I'll have to do this on, but I'll do it as we go. We're going to get back to assembling these on the double time. Here we go. Okay, we've got all our blocks done, and I've enlisted my husband's help to get them all laid out into rows. Next, we're going to assemble the rows together and then assemble the rows to each other. Let's see if I can get this done before the minions get home. Last two seams. All right, let's go press it. All right, one last step and I'll be right back. And here's our finished quilt top. The Night Sky pattern by Monique Jacobs. Still available on Craftsy for free. Not perfect. But very pretty. Now I know you're thinking to yourself, but she made 10 blocks. The 10th block is going to go on the back. So there's our 10th block. As you can see, it's not perfect. It's lost all its points. But it's still pretty. Alright, y'all. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.